I grew up as a pastor's kid, and there were 8 of us in that household. And my dad was totally dependent on the generosity. He did his work, but the generosity of the church. But it's hard to feed 8 kids. And there are people in that church who didn't have a lot of financial capacity, but they did have a generous heart. And so every Saturday we would hear a knock at the door, and we would go out, and there would be fresh baked bread waiting for us. Or there would be baskets and bushels of beans and produce and fruit that people would pick from their gardens or for their farms. Or the farmers in the area would let the Dean family, like Ruth, glean from the fields, go and take what they needed. We had more watermelon than you could ever imagine. My whole life has been based on other people's generosity. And when I came here to Prince of Peace, just somewhere around 4 or 5 years later, about 2006 or so, Pastor Mike Foss said, "You need to go to seminary." And I said, I'm not that guy. He goes, "No, you need to go to seminary." And I said, "Well, I don't know if I have the time. I don't have the resources." He said, "We'll make time and we'll pay for it." So I started in seminary and I started nibbling around the edges. And then this other guy came along named Jeff Marion, and he said, "Hurry up. Finish it." I am standing before you today because of your generosity. Your generosity in my life. And in many ways, I've said this over and over again, your generosity has made me your new lead pastor. I am you because of your blessing and your generosity. But the same thing is also true for my wife, Heather. My wife, Heather, was born here. She grew up here. Her family has invested in this time here. But because of your generosity, she grew in her faith. She entered into the youth programs and the kids programs and the high school programs. And she is a faithful disciple today, like so many others. Thousands and thousands of other kiddos are faithful because of your generosity. Kiddos over here, thank you. Thank you. Hey, how are you doing? I want to know all of you. I want to say hi to all of you. Look at these kiddos. Your generosity is making this happen. That's how it works, and it is awesome. So thank you for your generosity and for being a blessing in my life. And then there's one last thank you I want to share with you. Last night I was able to be up here with 2 of my sisters and some of my nieces and nephews. And my little sister came here last night. I dragged her up on the stage, and as we worshiped together, she received communion for the first time in 37 years. You know, we all have family. They're not all here, right? Thank you. Thank you for being a safe place for my little sister to come to receive the real presence of Christ in the bread and in the wine. This is what we get to do together because you are a blessing.